Thank you for tuning back into the Rucker Show. You got comedian Keisha Hunt.
Yeah, buddy.
Yours truly, Al Rucker. We got Nikki Woods. Nikki, who we have on Power Up. I didn't forget your name.
I was going to say, it was like this whole, who am I sitting next to?
It's the hair.
I know, it's different hair. It always throws people. It's like, and we are matching now.
Yes.
We've like both got the ombre thing happening.
Hey, girl, all right. No more of that. That's the end of that. That's the end of that.
We are so fortunate, right? We are so fortunate to have Robert Nolden with us today. He is a relationship expert, and we are going to talk about men settle in, healthy emotional transition today. So in Power Up, he's going to give us some tips on how men, especially, can make this transition from relationship to relationship in a healthier way. Is that correct?
I guess that's the best way to put it. Sometimes the most toxic part is from relationship to relationship. You know, not that many of us men take time in between the two to really evaluate ourselves. So, you know, it's a crazy point.
So why do you think that is? Because there are women that don't do it either. But men, I think more so than women are probably challenged with this. Why do you think men don't say, let me take a break, figure this out, correct some things, and then go forth and try it again?
Because with most men, we're measured by the amount of women that we have anyway. So to not have none, what do you look like? You know, but I think it's funny. No, for real. Look, I think it's funny. I remember this so vividly. I was about 12 years old, and my dad was like, "So, boy, you got a girlfriend yet?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, what's wrong with you?"
He said that at 12?
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't know something was wrong. I was like, okay, you know. So he was like,
okay.
So he was like, hey, man, you supposed to have as many as you can have. Like, yeah, at this point, you should be enjoying it. I'm like, it's just 12. Right. So, you know, as you get older, you can hear people and they're like, man, all you got is one girlfriend, just one? Oh man, something must be wrong with you. And I'm like, okay, am I broken? Like, what did I do?
Right.
So, you know, so when we get older, like I sit around now and listen to grown men like try to count how many. You only got 2, 3 girls, but I got a bunch of them. We feel emasculated when we don't have enough women, so we try to keep one.
Or 2 or 3 or
7.
Or 7.
You
so,
know?
but you're remarried. This is your second marriage, and you went through what they're calling a difficult divorce. I don't know any divorce that is generally easy, but yours probably may be more so difficult. Is this when you started learning the emotional healing part of things?
You know, to be honest with you, my mom and my dad were married for 25 years. However, my dad, I think, and he's very open about his ups and downs with love and relationships. I just put that out there. But my dad, in his honesty, was like, man, I think I was faithful for like the first 6 months of my marriage, but after that, I was just trying to do what I could do. So
just take 6 months.
So, you know, and I was looking at him and I'm like, man, I'm never gonna be this dude. You know, like I don't want to be him. And in my first marriage, I made up my mind that just saying that I wasn't cheating was enough. Like I didn't know anything about communication. I didn't know anything about like emotional health. I didn't know anything about friendships and connections and all the things it really took to make it work. So for me, I was like, well, what do you want? I'm not cheating. So when the divorce came about, it took a lot for me to really sit back, evaluate myself and say, okay, it wasn't about whether or not you were faithful, but what other components were you missing? And in that time frame, when I tell you I was like all over the place, I was going like from woman to woman. And when I say literally, like I just kind of immerse myself in just everything that would keep me distracted from it. And I think like
you made me nervous with the immerse yourself in, but okay.
Okay. But it was funny. Look, you know, because like I think every time like people ask me, I think like eventually you hit this spurt and you have to ask yourself like, when did you wake up? And like throughout the process, what was scary to me is that women would come up to me and they'd be like, hey, can you give me advice about this? And can you give me advice about that? And I looked at a lady one day and I was like, you know, I'm tore up, right? Like, I'm a mess. You really want it from me? And she was like, yeah. So one day I had a birthday party and I went after the party, I went home with this woman. And the next day my mom called me and was like, hey, I heard the party was nice. I heard you went home with a girl. So who is she? And I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna call you back. Right. So I get to my mother's house and she was like, well, you never told me about the girl. And I was like, it's because I can't remember her name. And I'm looking at my mom and she had this look of disappointment on her face. And I was like, man, I really hit rock bottom. And I still couldn't remember her name.
And how old were you at this point?
At this point, I probably was like, I think I was like 33.
So good and grown.
Oh,
so
man,
good and
I
grown.
knew better. I knew better. I just didn't know how to do better. You know, like I knew for a fact something was wrong, but I just didn't know what, and I didn't know how to fix it.
So now you have a book coming out called He Can't Love You. And during Power Up, one of the things that we like to do is to leave people with very solid, actionable tips to help them power up their lives. And so what 3 things can you share with men, especially?
You talking about me?
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
You talking about me?
to a certain degree.
What can you leave with us that we can use to help with the emotional transitioning?
Well, one, I think that you have to kind of, as my grandmother would say, you kind of unlearn what you already learned. That whole stigma of men not supposed to aren't supposed to be able to express their emotions. You're not supposed to talk about how you're feeling. You're not supposed to let anybody know when you're hurting or what you're going through. All that has to go out the window. The second thing I would say is you have to learn to love yourself. I think that with a lot of men, we really focus on showing other people how much we love them, you know, but we really never learn to love ourselves. Not as children, you know. You see a lot of times women are given oh, you're a girl or you're a woman, so you're supposed to feel like this and you're supposed to value yourself. With men, we don't get those same conversations. So I think it's very imperative that we really sit back and really learn how to love ourselves. And thirdly, I think after you learn to love yourself, you have to learn to give that love to somebody else in a genuine way. You know what I mean? Not with intentions, not with, I hope you do this back for me, but just, I love me so much that I have to love you the same way. And if you do that, what will happen is all of your relationships, whether it's mother, father, brother, sister, wife, children, all of those relationships will have a whole different value to you.
I
And
agree.
I think
That's
that's it.
awesome.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Awesome. So Love Dr. Rob is on social media everywhere, and that's exactly how you can find him, at Love Dr. Rob. The book that will be out soon is He Can't Love You 2.0. So what is your website? How can people find out more about the book?
Well, right now, there's the first copy of the book. The original copy is on Amazon.com.
Okay.
Right. And we're actually putting the website together. It's going to be lovedrrob.com. But we're working on that right now, and that should be up within the next week.
But for now, they can follow you on social media, and you will alert everybody to
everybody. It's
everybody.
All over. Oh yeah, we doing commercials and everything.
Oh my goodness,
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is Valentine's week, so whether you are in the middle of it or after it, all of this is good advice, and we're gonna have some more love advice for you coming up shortly, as well as a lot of other good stuff. We got a whole nother hour to go, so we will be right back with more on the Al Rucker Show.